Hello again, YouTube. I'm at it again, and this time I'm going to redo my backup power generator, and I'm going to do it. I got a new box. I got it from Walmart. What it is it's just a container that you can buy it at Walmart for like 20 or 30 bucks or something like that. And inside, I'm going to put a battery in there. This is the old battery box that I had. I just mounted it on the inside. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this container that I got from Walmart, plus the battery box that you can get from any auto parts store. This is the cover for it, and it's going to be on the inside also. And I'm going to mount it to this particular cart right here. Now this is a Magna cart that you can get from Costco, and it folds up and so forth, and it's that'll give me that portability that I'm looking for. And also I got a new inverter for it. It's an Xantrex, and it's a Pro Watt SW. It's a Xantrex Pro Watt SW, and it's 2,000 watts. So I'm going to mount that on top. Okay, and I'm gonna, when I finish building it, I'll, kind of show the video, show the results of it and everything. But this is just the beginning of it. So just for folks that are just wondering, what's required. What's required is obviously a nice inverter. I would recommend a pure sine wave inverter. I got this thing on sale. It's 2,000 watts capable, but 1,800 watts continuous. 2,000 watts for like 5 minutes or something like that. But there's 3,000 watts surge and 1,800 watts continuous. That's what I'm concerned about. 1,800 watts continuous. This is a typical box that will fit a little battery box on the inside. This is a battery box that will fit a Group 27 battery, up to a Group 27 battery. And the reason why I've got it in here is to kind of keep the battery from sliding around. It's like a cradle that'll, hold onto the battery. And this, will give me the surface area, the top here, will give me the surface area that I need to mount this Xantrex Pro Watt SW inverter. And this cart will give me the portability that I need. It'll allow me to roll it around and so forth. But anyway, you see all of this stuff that I'm going to have to use. This is 10 gauge wiring, that I'm going to connect to the battery. And also, I'm going to mount this, which is a 12 volt socket, on top of the compartment here. So this is, just to give you an idea, this is kind of what you need when you want to build your own. And so, and the tools that I'm using, I've got a Dremel tool here that I use to cut off some screws. I'm going to use these 2 wire ties to kind of help secure it, even more once I bolt it to my cart. And my old trusty drill here. So, other than that, that's pretty much, that, some drill bits and, screwdrivers and, the basic tools that, that every guy pretty much has. But anyway, nothing special here. But anyway, let me get back to it. And when I'm done, I'll show you the finished results. Take care. Okay, YouTube. Here we have, it's partially completed. What you see right here is the box it's mounted on the Magna cart. And I've also mounted this wooden platform here on top of this plastic lid. It'll give it a little more stability. You see these two guide screws here. And this is where my inverter is going to kind of sit in. And I've got some places here where I'm going to screw it in also. So the plate is bolted to the lid. I don't know if you can see in there, but you can see that the battery box, the Group 27 battery box, is also mounted on the inside to keep the battery sturdy. You can see the bolts underneath the bottom there where I've got the platform, or the wooden platform, in there. They're pretty stable. Moving around, you can see where on the back here I've got 2 zip ties. Okay, that'll also, increase the stability and, of the box itself. 2 black zip ties there in the back. And underneath, you can see where I've got it bolted to the bottom of the container. This is, the cart and so forth. It's bolted to the bottom. And I got a piece of wood up front to give it a lift, so the bottom won't be resting on the screws. So this will just kind of give it a little bit of a lift. And you can see that screw right there. That's where the front of the battery box on the inside of the container is bolted to the bottom of the container right here. And again, this piece of wood here will make sure all of the screws are not touching the floor. Kind of helps with keeping the floor from getting scratched up, or the carpet from getting torn from screws. Okay, that's what I have so far, YouTube. Stand by. Okay, YouTube, the project is complete. It's complete. As you can see, I have the Xantrex power inverter mounted on top of my wooden platform, and it's powered up. I'll kind of show you some of the things that I did. Okay, right here, you can see where I put on the 12 volt car adapter, this little plug here. Okay, you can see the Xantrex unit powered up. My battery is at 13 volts. Right now it's not drawing any amps. Now, one thing about this particular setup is I can't lift this thing up all the way now to service it, so I would have to essentially take the inverter off. But anyway, I've got the battery in there. I mean, you really can't see it, but hooking up the battery is straightforward. It's negative to negative, positive to positive, and call it good. I drilled holes on the sides just so that there can be some airflow. I've got holes on both sides so that there will be airflow when the battery is charging, so there won't be any hydrogen buildup in there, and so the hydrogen can, it'll kind of flow out the back, or out the sides. In the back here, I don't know if you can kind of see that, but what I've got is I've got the wires coming out, okay, coming out of the back of the battery. Okay, and these plugs right here, these are just external connectors where I can put some jumper cables on it, positive and negative, as you can see here, red, and they're labeled. Okay, this is my negative input here, and this is just so that if I wanted to put some jumper cables on it, I can just connect them there. Now, I have this set up here just for a reason, because I'm going to use my homemade generator to connect to these 2 plugs and provide power to charge my battery bank in the event of cloudy days. Anyway, it's rather simple, simplistic. I mean, I didn't go all out and put all the extra accessories. I mean, I've got these 2 GFI plugs here that come with the inverter. I have power indication for voltage and watts coming out. I have this, this 12 volt adapter here. For me, that's enough. I don't really need anything extra. But anyway, this is the new, I would like to say, new and improved battery backup system. Okay, the battery that I have on the inside of the container is a 115 amp hour battery that I got from Costco, 115 amp hour deep cycle. So, you know, that's plenty enough power for, you know, for backup purposes. This particular unit, you know, I can hook this up to any freezer or any, you know, light or, you know, home electronics or something like that, and it'll be fine. So again, YouTube, hopefully, you know, somebody got something out of this. And if you have any questions, just, you know, leave me a line or two in the comment section, and then I'll try to get back with you as soon as I can. Okay, take care, YouTube. Okay, YouTube. I had to make some slight modifications to the original design because with the fact that I have to, you know, when I lift this up to take a look at inside the battery and so forth, I'll have to remove the inverter, which is no big deal. It take a couple of minutes in order to do it, if that. So what I've done is I built kind of like a platform, you know, with some washers, with some screws and some nuts and some washers that goes straight through this platform, straight through the lid and bolted underneath. And I put this large washer here on top where my inverter will sit on like a platform in and of itself. And also what I've done is I've added wing nuts so that I can, you know, just unscrew it and screw it back on. And that way, you know, it'll come off quicker as opposed to me using wood screws. I was using wood screws similar to these to bolt it in to this wood here. But the problem with that is the more you you unscrew it and screw it back in, you know, the hold factor, you know, it will decrease the more and more you do that. So essentially, I needed a better way, and this appears to be a much better way. Okay, after this, I'm going to bolt the inverter back on, and I'll show you the finished product. Hold on, YouTube. Okay, YouTube, I've reconnected all of my battery wires. I just wanted to show this portion, you know, for the folks that have probably never hooked up a battery before. They just have some questions. You know, as I said earlier, all it is, you know, when dealing with a battery, it's just, you know, hook up the positive to the positive, which is usually indicated by red wires, and the negative to the negative, which is usually indicated by black wires. As you can see, I've got wing nuts to make, you know, the connections and, you know, to connect and disconnect really simple. Wing nuts on my terminal, so that kind of helped me out quite a bit. Again, looking on the inside, it's really simple. You know, I have connections, I have holes where the wires could come out, connections where, you know, I could, you know, reconnect to the battery, or these external terminals right here. That's a positive terminal for if I want to hook up jumper cables, and that's my negative terminal right there. I've also reinforced, as you can see right here, these are zip ties, but I also reinforced it with some wire, a lot of strands of metal wire, solid metal wire, to also give it more stability. So that should help out quite a bit. And this is again kind of bolted to a Magna Cart dolly. One other thing I kind of want to mention in terms of safety. The battery is connected, but even prior to disconnecting the inverter, it's a good idea. I put tape on the positive end so that, you know, there's no arcing or it, you know, wouldn't accidentally come in contact with the negative to cause current to flow, and, you know, cause you to get shocked and so forth. So whenever you're doing something like this, it's, you know, a good idea to tape one in for safety's sake. Okay. All right, I'm going to hook up the inverter now, and I'll show you the finished product. Stay tuned, YouTube. Okay, YouTube, finally I believe we have the finished product, and hopefully you can see it a lot better. And just to kind of show you what I've got, I have a 1800 watt, I would just say 1800 watt, Xantrex power inverter sitting on top of a Walmart tub that I bought for about 20 bucks, And on the inside of that is a battery box that I had, that I used for my last project, and you can get those from Walmart, between maybe $10 from Walmart or any auto parts store. At most, maybe $15. So let's see the price tag there. Say $20 for the tub, about $15 for the battery box. So that's about $35 there. And the Magna Cart, which I bought from Costco, that's about $20. And a deep cycle marine battery from Costco at 115 amp hours. So you're spending about $90 there, maybe 100. And now there's an Xantrex power Pro Watt SW power inverter. That's basically 1800 watts continuous, and 3000 peak, and you can go at 2000 watts for about 5 minutes, I think. Now, all of this together, you can put all of this together for roughly just under $500. Now, what is the benefit of this? Well, you can get that some power inverters, or I'm sorry, power packs that you can buy online for about maybe $1,800 or I'm sorry, $1,100 or $1,200, something like that. Or you can build your own for half the price. This is a pure sine wave inverter. I can switch it on, and what it does is it gives you the current voltage and the amount of watts or kilowatts that are coming out of the system at any given time. On the side here is a 12-volt adapter. Okay, 12-volt adapter, and just to kind of give you an idea what I can do with it. You can actually obviously use 12-volt appliances, 12-volt items that you can just plug in, like if you were plugging it into a car, or better yet, you can use one of these. Okay, this is a battery tender. Well, it's a maintainer charger. It's basically a trickle charger, and essentially, I just have this, and you can plug it into the wall, plug this into the battery pack that you just made, and this thing will constantly keep your battery charged. In the absence of solar panels or anything like that. This is, you can just plug it in, and you can have, it only gives 1 point. I don't know if you can see that, but it's roughly 1.5 amps. It's a trickle charger, so it will, and once it gets fully charged, it will just simply keep your batteries topped off at all times. And so with this, I just plug it in and plug it into the wall and call it good. And in the event of a power outage or a short-term power outage, you have power for lights or microwaves and things of that nature. Okay. Getting back to the power pack here. So again, YouTube, this is the finished product. I'll just kind of walk around so you can see things, how I got it. If you look on the side, I have holes in the side, and those holes right there are obviously one to have wires coming out, but they also serve a dual purpose of ventilating the battery when it's charging, so I don't get hydrogen buildup in the container. On the back of the inverter or the power pack, you can see where I have another hole right underneath there, and I have wires coming out, and these are steel wires, okay, that allow me to wire the container to the back of the Magna Cart to give it more stability. These are terminals, positive and negative, so that I can put jumper cables on them. I can hook up my homemade gas powered generator, or I can jump a car off or something like that. That was the idea for that. On this side here, there's nothing really much going on except for I just want to show you the other two holes. Again, these are for airflow. And coming back around, again, you see the unit. This is a pretty decent inverter. Again, it's an Xantrex Pro Watt SW, and it's 2,000 watts, or 1,800 watts continuous. These are GFI plugs, 2 of them. And again, a indicator power and voltage and current indicator, or I'm sorry, watt indicator. Tells you how many watts are coming out of the battery at any given time. Okay, so this is the finished unit. Okay, take care, YouTube.